Hello, I'm Laura. Not an experienced speaker, kind of nervous. So happy to see friendly faces in the crowd and actually be able to see the crowd so you are not in the total darkness. Yes, coding is power, design is wisdom. You can have it all. And for me, this is also a very personal subject. Because I love creating software. Great software sparks joy, of course, for users, when it actually gives a solution to their real problem, but it also is excellent in technical aspects. So it requires amazing tech skills and superb design to have great software. And to be able to launch such software, that is such a joy for the team. Yes, I am Laura, a goofy nerd still at 47. I keep dragging along my Unix account abbreviation of my names that I got on 1994 when I got my first Unix account at Helsinki University of Tech. And I found my home there among other nerds. I've always felt that I am a software engineer, but at some point in my career, I had drifted more towards just service design. And because I wanted to get closer to developers, and I was so fortunate that I found a person who had same passions. We were able to found a consultancy for us, where we are able to foster a culture of learning. That company is Vonna, and we know how to deliver great software. The photos on the left, on your right, are from our technical agile camp this week. Our developers spent 2 days in a cottage in Nuuksio forest, learning to refactor legacy code better and to create code that is extremely easy to test. I'm a mother of 2 teens. They help me learn more about what triggers me, and I have an amazing young poodle. If you work with software development, can I hear a yes from you? If you are a member of a software development team, can I hear a yes? Lovely. So you understand what's great about creating software. And then I promise that I'm going to explain what is so great about knowing both coding and design. I already started raving about it. Briefly, what do I mean when I say to know coding? You are able to take in requirements, craft shippable software, and ship it to users. And to know design means that you can study user needs. You know how to understand what's the reality of the users and what kind of a solution could be an answer to those problems. So you are able to plan a feasible solution. And one very important aspect about knowing design is also being able to communicate that plan. It is often drawings, but it also needs to be explanation about what the users are feeling, for example. And when you know coding, you are able to turn an idea into solid reality. It is very powerful. And when you know design, you are able to draft a really good solution idea for real people. You probably are familiar with this concept of a unicorn who knows front-end development, who are front-end coders, and who can also plan nice interaction flows, maybe also do some graphical design. Have you heard about this concept of unicorn developers? Have you heard about this idea of T-shaped people? My professional toolbox is a bit of a blob. I wouldn't say that it's of a certain shape. My professional identity is software engineer. I can do agile coaching if necessary. Often it is. I can be a scrum master, or the dirty word is agile project manager. I can do whatever it takes, or I am willing to do almost everything it takes to create and ship good software. But yeah, my toolbox is a bit of a blob. And in general, in software development teams, I've not known many T-shaped people to have one very deep skill and then some, some others. Then at some point emerged a term pie-shaped, like not the pie that you eat, but the math pie. So you're a master of couple, but you know some. What I personally see more in software development is kind of like V-shaped people. They have a center of gravity on their professional toolbox, definitely, but they know a lot of complementing skills also. Some examples. You might be able to recognize either yourself or maybe people that you know in your teams. There's a back-end developer, a front-end developer, and a UI designer. The UI designer also can do pretty good graphics. They have understanding, and maybe they are also working in design ops. They know some front-end development and service design, so that they can get the design started with user studies. Or then back-end developer, who's also the front-end guy when needed, who has specialized in AWS. And actually the back-end developer and the front-end developer, they could be also called as full-stack developers. That's what many companies want to recruit. And both UI designer and front-end developer could also be called like sort of traditional unicorns, because the front-end developer described here also knows some UI design. So, but most software, according to my personal experience, is created in teams. And a software crafter who is a bit of a unicorn is a really great teammate. They are able to speak the same language with people whose center of gravity is on some other skill. They are great at asking the right questions because they have the same, they share the language, and they understand the point of view of the other expert. they understand the challenges, they are more patient, and they can meet them the halfway easier. And that results in smooth collaboration, or at least smoother, because teamwork, there's always friction, or usually there's some friction, because we are human. And then it's wonderful if you can do load balancing in the team between the team members. So somebody who's a bit of a unicorn can also take tasks that are not on their specialty. And the software crafter who is a bit of a unicorn, they have a lot of options. In the day-to-day teamwork, they have more tasks that they can choose from. They can join different kind of teams with different kind of team composition. They can choose from more skills in their toolbox that they can develop further. And if they want to change direction of their career, they can look to different directions. And whether it's formal or informal leadership, they can take different roles. Then I promised some proof. This is not going to be scientific. But this is based on your experiences, or will be based on your experiences. Think about a great software developer that you know. Maybe somebody you've worked with. Please stand up when you have one in mind. Do they know who are the users of their software? If not, sit down. If yes, remain standing. Do they know what is the problem of the users to be solved? Assignment was understood very well. Some people sat down. And the last, do they sometimes suggest improvements to the designs? A lot of people are still standing. End of proof. You know some developers who are really user-centered and kind of design-savvy also. You can sit down. For a while. Think about the great UI designer you know, and stand up when you have one in mind. The lunch will taste better if you move a bit. Does this designer design implementable solutions? If yes, remain standing. You know a designer who also knows technology. End of proof. Then, how if you want to build your toolbox towards a more V-shape or crossover from design to also tech, or from tech to design also? Some ideas. Myself, after the workday, I also work as a consultant, and then I do some company work in addition to that. After the workday, I personally, I want to spend time with my family, walk my dog. I also want to sleep a lot. I need sleep. I enjoy food. I don't have much time to then keep improving as a professional. So learning is a lot about realities of your life. I prefer to grow as a professional through the work I do. And being just a bit of a unicorn will already take you a long way. It's easiest to improve if you build on your strengths. It's important to be realistic, both about time that you have, but also of the opportunities at the workplace that you got. It makes sense to pick the battles and work on what you got, or then find ways to find a different kind of environment for growing professionally. And being patient is important. If one sees life as a learning journey, then it's easy to see that there will be time. So relax. This is still just software development. Software development can be kind of complicated, but it is still just software development. And if you've been doing it so far, you can do it in the future. Coding is power, design is wisdom. You can have it all, but I don't think that it's possible to have it all by oneself. And that's good that there are teams. Jim Rohn is often quoted for saying that you are the average of the 5 people you spend most time with. 6 people makes a nice team, but it's actually more than 5. It's all the people you interact with and the people they interact with. So it's important to choose the environment. If you can, choose carefully the environment you work in. If you can, join a cross-functional team. It will be fun because the same team is able to actually create the whole software. Try to be brave and be open about your desire to learn from your teammates. Ask for either ensemble programming or ensemble design. They are also known as mob programming, and pair programming works also. Pair design works also. Learn from the experts or learn working with the experts. And ask that they would let you do the work sometimes with them. Follow people who share quality content. And I mentioned earlier that seeing life as a learning journey, the growth mindset is the key. Then, as a bonus, I'd like to ask corporations to do a bit for the unicorns. Why should a corporation care about allowing people to become more V-shaped? Well, my hypothesis is that it will improve employee satisfaction. It kind of makes sense that it would improve the team productivity and that it would improve innovation. But then how can this be done? Yes, cross-functional teams, so that people could learn from each other sort of informally. It's great if the company can have a sort of 80-20 rule, that 80% of work time is used on creating software and 20% is for learning and experimenting and such. But that's not really the case in many companies. So making it as sure as possible that learning happens at the actual creative, productive work, that would be ideal. And one very important thing, something that has, in some organizations, been a problem for me, that there's building strengths of certain crafts by isolating and lifting them like on a pedestal. Respecting respect for all the crafts is important for the learning culture and for the environment to cross over from tech to design and from design to tech. You can try, and you should try, many, many things. And you can also do many, many things. You may know the certain song, and it might already be in your ear as an earworm. You are welcome. If you don't, Google pink fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows. Have fun and stay curious. I'd love to hear your thoughts, maybe over lunch. I am a social introvert, so I may crash at some point after all this interaction that's happening here, but I would love to meet you.
Thank you so much, Laura.